Adversity? Bring it. The struggle? We welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. We are Dave Regina and Mike Pirelli, and this is the No Snooze Podcast. Come on.
Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast, episode 76. I'm Mike Pirelli, Dave Regina, Claudio, the audio magician. Then we got Justin Anthony Sanchez. I hesitated. I stuttered because he's looking big today. Lots to talk about today. More ghost stuff.
No.
See if he says no. And some value. We got some big news out of the Dave Regina camp. It's about time you're getting discovered.
Listen, I'm popping buttons, baby.
I just want to say, when you make it big, you remember who back in the day was like, you should work for, what was the app?
Snapchat.
I, from the beginning, was like, you should work for Snapchat.
Yeah,
you are basically the better version of DJ Khaled.
Wow. Thank you for that, man. No, listen, if I make it big, we make it big.
Absolutely. I
You know
mean,
what I'm
we're
saying?
riding your coattails.
That's
sure.
it. That's what it's about. So 76, New York Giant football, New York Jet football. Quick update, unfortunately, and you'll hear it in my voice.
I didn't watch the game.
Tone.
What happened?
Yeah, it's just, honestly, let's not even get into it. Back and forth game with Washington.
Let's get into
we
it.
lost.
No surprise to you.
We lost by a point. So we're looking forward week 3.
Oh, it was a Thursday night game, right?
Yeah.
Thursday night.
So that's my update on New York Giant football. All right. So Jets, you guys call
Listen,
it L2,
if you're a
right?
Giant fan, don't give me this like you're on the same level of a Jet fan, because
No,
we have nothing positive to speak of ever. My poor father has been just decimated. Like, we brought Livy over in her 2-2. Let's go Jets.
Yeah.
First throw, interception. Second throw, interception. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I was at the point where I'm like, maybe we should leave. You know how I know it was going to go bad? We got to my parents' house. Petey sniffs the flowers, takes a couple, marks his territory. So as he's running towards the front door, my mom opens the door fast and makes like a big noise. He gets nervous, tries to stop on a brakes, pulls a paw, starts limping. I'm like, this is not a good sign.
Jesus.
So the Jets, I have to say, this is going to sound crazy. I told Brother Bill before the game, this is Zach Wilson's coming out party. 5 touchdowns. He's going to play phenomenal. He had 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
But I do like how he kept his head up. He didn't hesitate. Like, he threw 3 picks and he kept throwing terrible picks. Like, that's the quarterback I want. I want someone who's going to throw 5 picks or 5 touchdowns. I don't want like a controller of the game. I want to go be first place or last place, because in between does not matter, right?
I got you. Yeah, man.
What do we measure? Super Bowls. I don't care if you Super Bowls.
Super Bowls.
A lot of caffeine. We measure Super Bowls. So in my eyes, it doesn't, if you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby.
That's true. No participation trophies. Right?
No.
That's like society these days. Just participation all day.
Yeah.
It's credited too much. I agree with you. But so
understand?
look, this comes out Monday. So I am going to celebrate right now, even though we're recording prior.
Okay. A win?
This is a New York Giant win. Let's go,
do they play
baby.
Sunday?
We play the Falcons 1:00 on Sunday. So that was a great win yesterday, boys. Woo!
We play the Broncos. Zach Wilson, 5 touchdown passes. You heard it here
there we
first.
go. Good. So enough for New York football. God damn it.
But I love it. Do you love it?
I do love it. It's
How about
all
a dude from Greenwich
Yep.
bought it's called the Jetliner. It's a mini bus that's basically decked out for tailgating.
Wow, that's fire.
That was their maiden voyage.
Fire.
That's
fire.
Imagine buying
Yeah.
a bus, and then your first game is what the Jets put on.
Pretty sick.
That's pretty sad.
It's pretty sick, but sad.
I'd probably return it.
Is it nice inside? Is it nice
It looks
inside?
sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks very basic as far as like seating, but the fact that thing's screaming down the road.
Yeah, man. All right, enough, because I'm getting frustrated.
Yeah, you
so,
look mad.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie.
You're pissed.
I had a rough morning. This is just bringing it up more.
Me too.
But so I come out of the gym. My phone. You know when you just watch something, like, and you're like, no.
You see it coming.
Like, I just saw it coming, right? So I take my towel out of the locker, knocks my phone over. Crash, right? It's a nice cracked phone right on the screen. After I just took off my
the case,
the screen protector.
Oh.
So it was perfect. Then on the way here,
Will you get it
traffic.
Will you get that fixed?
No, I'm gonna look into. I think it's almost time for a new one anyway.
You're just like Dana.
I hate that.
Dana literally made the case to me. I swear to God, she was gonna get an oil change because she didn't want to get an oil change.
She got a new car?
She convinced me to get a new car.
And you did it. That's good.
you.
That's amazing.
She's like, well, if I get a new car, I don't have to get an oil change.
Yep,
and I'm like,
that's true.
what?
That's
What
true. You
has
got
it
like
mean?
another 10,000 miles. That's
Yeah.
smart, Dane. And then the second thing was the traffic this morning, right? And then as I'm driving, I'm like, damn, I can't control this, right? But I noticed, like, you know that feeling that you get where you're like, wow, I did everything that I could have. I left plenty of time, I thought, but then it was just like an uncontrollable thing. Yeah. When you try to control the uncontrollables, you get very bitter.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, that's like the weather too. Like we can't control the weather. If you wake up and it's rainy, we kind of just feel bad. But it was one of those mornings where I was like, you know what? And I'm driving. I'm like, damn it, I can't control it. And so I just put it up in the air. I ended up being a couple minutes late, but it wasn't terrible.
I thought you were on time.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
No.
But I like being in control of things.
Do you know why there's more traffic now?
Why?
Dude, let's think it through.
COVID is,
no one wants to
take public.
No, what's it called? Yeah, that carpool. One. So no one wants to carpool. No one's taking public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
So think about how many more cars are on the road.
Well, also the construction. Like
construction everywhere.
Listen, why are we doing construction at 8 a.m.?
Because
why do we
trying
start
to do it before the?
Let's do it overnight, boys and girls that are in construction. Right? Like it's like a main road. What are we doing? What are we doing?
That's good though. You know what traffic means though? It's good for real estate prices because people that were like, I could go up to Wilton and go into the city. Now they have one bad day of traffic. It's like, no, we have to buy in Greenwich. It's good for real estate.
Good for real estate.
All the negative stuff, sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is pretty good for real estate.
Go follow my boy, Mike Pirelli, Greenwich Real Estate, baby. Podbot update, big news. Your mind was blown.
I almost fell out of my chair.
That text message was hilarious.
What happened before it? There was like three things that happened in a row. I'm like, what is going on? You're on a roll.
So we're revamping the Instagram page.
Your boy, David Instagram Regina, has been on fire. Yes, we got a lot of views prior, but I'm pulling up one post and there's 10K views and my ugly mug's on the face. Front. I'm like, what?
I'm not gonna lie, your face is selling because the past couple posts,
like,
I've been looking.
Clown?
I get some nice views here, but then when I put a Mike Pirelli face up, we're getting like 13,000 views.
You know what I think's going on? I think they think I'm the before photo. I think they think, right?
That's probably
They're
it.
probably like, how did that kid go to that kid?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I was saying before off air, right? I felt like, we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit with summer. The momentum was there, but it was a little stagnant. So, I basically revamped a plan for 30 days, picked out all the posts previously, started to incorporate some shareable content and the quotes and stuff like that. And the feedback's been great.
You've been on a roll. Kudos.
That's that piece, right? That was kind of, I guess, mind blowing for you at first.
Very mind blowing.
But then you saw the post where I entered this competition and got selected for the legendary dad bod of the year.
So I thought it was a joke at first. I'm like, what do you mean legendary dad bod? And then I saw 25K and I'm like, wait, time out.
Yes.
Then he starts sending me pictures of your competitors, which I was like, this can't be real. So my mind was, I was in a pretzel all morning.
Yes.
I didn't know what was going on. So let's go back to the beginning, right?
Yep.
How did this come about? Did you enter yourself? Did someone enter you?
So I get a text message from David.
Cousin David.
Poppy.
Poppy's one of my...
Yes.
Before we start, he is one of the funniest people I've ever met. Yeah. He literally was yelling at me for a full evening donuts. He just kept saying donuts. I live donuts. Mike, I like donuts.
Yes.
But where are your donuts?
So he sends me this post from Men's Health. And it was basically like, enter this dad bod competition. And to them, anybody can enter in terms of a dad bod. Because you think of a dad bod, I was a little offended. I'm like, I'm not a dad bod. I'm more like a father figure. But then one of their taglines was like, let's make dad bods become father figures. So it like hyped me up. And it basically said, listen, whether you're fit or you're round, we want you. If you have kids, blah, 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 fit the whole thing. So he sent it to me as a joke and he's like, yo, if you win, you got to pay me out here. So as what started out as a joke, I'm like, well, let me look into this competition. So I send a photo in. Right?
What photo did you send?
That was the first thing. That photo.
Oh, that photo.
Yeah, that photo.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of all your photos,
I sent that one.
Oh, I guess
because of the kid. Yeah, exactly. Because of the
you
kid.
should have sent like one in the sauna, a belt, like in the tutu,
my wrist straps on.
Yeah, I'll show you how to.
So it started with that, and then I get an actual text message back saying like, hey brother, congratulations, blah blah blah, from legendary dad bod competition. You've been hand selected to enter this competition. Go out and fill your application if you want to move forward. So I'm thinking like, well, this is like a bot thing that's kind of hitting me back, but it was like a real thing. I responded. It responded back to me like not right away. It was
probably a person.
Yeah, it was exactly.
He goes it.
Yeah. So I entered the application. Just a couple questions. How do you balance your dad bod? I'm like, look, check it out. I lift weights 5-6 days a week, and I eat
256 workouts a day. No biggie.
3 double stuffed Oreos daily. That was like my tagline or whatever.
That's so many calories.
Then they
Oreos.
ask a question. Like, how do you mow your lawn or something? I'm like, listen, I mowed my lawn the very first time my wife and I moved into our house. After an hour and a half of mediocre work, blood, sweat, and tears, I call a lawn guy. Oscar does it in 30 minutes. My lawn's never looked better.
Isn't it so demoralizing how quick they do it?
Right.
You're like, how did it take me that long?
Right. So I answered that question. There was one more about like the thermostat. I'm like, look, I like my thermostat at 68 degrees. My wife loves it at 72. She agreed to, I then agreed to the 72 degrees, but then I took my clothes off because it was a little hot. And now we keep the temperature at 68 degrees.
Genius.
Right. So that was like my questions or whatever. End up getting in. And then, I find out that I was like selected to actually really participate in this competition. So there's groups of 25, right? And you have to win your group to get to the top 15. There's hundreds of
applicants. Is it by region? Like, do you think they stacked your group with like, I've seen the competition, and if you don't come out of this, it's like when they do the Final Four or whatever, they're coming out of that.
Yeah.
I think you're coming out of this region.
So I would think visually I'd win the competition.
First off, no other beards.
This beard. No, there's one beard that's incredible there.
All right, I can't wait to pull these.
And he's got a backwards hat, no tactical baby gear, but he's got the kid.
You really got to pump TBD. The tactical baby gear community might push you to the top here.
Right? It looks pretty good.
You just need to rep them.
But it's also for a good cause, which was awesome. So yes, the winner gets $25,000 and a feature on the cover of Men's Journal. It's a 2-page spread.
That's incredible.
Pretty cool.
If you're on Men's Journal, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Right? Pretty cool. But then the good side of the things is you can also, so you get one free vote on Facebook every day. All you have to have is an active Facebook to know that you're a real person.
Yeah.
So we'll put all the information there. You guys go vote.
Make
for
it
your
your morning routine.
Yes.
I've missed one day so far and I feel real guilty.
Well,
so
listen, I'm gonna lose by one. But
I'll
you can also, that's
the
other thing. You can also pay for votes. The paid votes go
awesome.
Yeah, no, $1 equals one vote. But all of the money raised throughout this entire competition goes to a kids cancer research. We'll tag them in here just to get all the information out there. But so there was a nice little cause to it, right? I'm not asking anybody to pay for the votes if you guys want to do that.
Pay for the votes. Let's get this man $25,000 because it'll go to some type of cause that will enrich his life, his kid's life. We got to do it.
Listen, man, I don't even know. Listen, $25,000 is
we're throwing a
money, but it's
party.
Good. Why not? Hey.
If what, like the finals, right? Is it like a live show?
Yeah,
like,
so they released the top 15 September 30th, but there's hundreds of people, Mike. So like I thought at first, I'm not going to lie.
Now is not the time to be humble.
Well,
out of all your past,
I'm not being humble
now.
Are
you going to win, Dave?
Listen,
give me a guarantee.
I'm not in this to participate, Mike.
I'm here
Let's
to
be honest,
dominate.
Right? I'm here to win.
Dominate.
But I'm not gonna lie. I looked at my group of 25. You guys are shaky. I know I'm currently sitting in first. Hopefully, by the time this comes out, I'm still in first.
Does it show how much? But first you are?
No, it doesn't.
I don't like
and that's
that.
the thing. I don't know if some guy's gonna put $1,000 to his own votes.
Just out of principle.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was in your league, I'd probably try to pay my way to the top.
It's tough. I don't know. But listen, I thought it was only my group. I thought it was the top 25. Then you go to 15. I'm like, wow, I got this in the bag. Then I start going on the Facebook, and there's thousands of people following this thing. And there's, I think, 25 regional groups of, 15 regional groups of 25.
Okay.
So it looks like you have to win your group, then you go to the top 15, then top 10, then top 5, and then it goes from there. So it's exciting, man. Let's follow the journey.
Can we get a final, can we get like a March Madness board going?
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Yo, dude, I'm not going to lie. There's a couple people on there. I got to send you this photo, man. I sent it to you. My man, Shantez.
Oh, my God. His quote, his bio was so funny. What did it say?
So funny. So my man, Shantez Watkins, he's looking good. Justin Anthony Sanchez, take a look here.
What's his bio? How did Ina get picked? And these dudes are getting picked.
So it says vote for Shantez Watkins. This is my biggest competition. So Shantez, if you're out there, I'm looking at you. It says 100 push-ups daily. Heavy on the Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yep.
And orange soda.
Yes.
Chasing the kids around the house for cardio.
He's my spirit animal.
I know. Listen,
I've actually voted for him.
I can't pump it because I almost voted for Shantez too.
Yeah.
So there's some funny guys on there, but everybody's in it for a good cause.
So who's your biggest competition?
See where it goes.
I know you scoped it out. Who's your biggest comp other than Shantez?
Well, there's this other guy. so
body wise, talk body wise. Like I don't
body wise. I didn't see anybody.
No one.
Not in my group. In other groups, there was huge dudes.
Really?
Karina was like, "Is this about like being the fittest? Because you're definitely not the fittest." Honest.
But that's the guy who's gonna win. The one who's like, you can't be overly because then like they're not a good father. Well, they work out too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't be too sloppy because then it'd be like they're not really a figure.
Yep.
So I think you're in a good spot.
That's what I thought.
I think you're in a good spot.
I really think so too. And if they actually
you're distinct too,
right? And the winner of this thing not only gets the spread, but they get to go around and speak. Right. So I'm like, look, if
this
you guys actually know me, I might become the legendary dad bod figure of the world.
You might be their spokesperson.
Right.
From No Snooze Podcast. As much as I love you and want to see you win, part of me think it would be hilarious if Shantez pulls it out. Like, and it's just like this average body who dominates.
It's good though, man. I gotta be honest with you. It's funny to watch. I'm trying not to get too.
I can't believe you didn't tell me about this prior to releasing.
I didn't know.
So funny.
It was so.
I liked it though. That was a surprise.
The way that you do it, I found out the night before that I posted. That was when I found out that it was like really a go.
Did you send him any pictures of me working out with my belt on?
They probably would have selected you too. But I'm telling you, man, what started out as a joke, I just put my name in the hat and it came out.
Here's my thing, right? So back in college, we used to submit our business plans to all these business plan competitions. $1,000 here, $2,000 here.
Yep.
And we didn't win all of them, but we won a couple. And I was like, oh, I wonder if people just submit to
things?
like these competitions.
Hey,
we should research. And even if it's like $1,000 gift card to Applebee's, like just submit you to everything. You know what I mean? Just pimp you out to the rest of the world.
No, it was funny, man. I actually said to Karina, she's actually calling me right now. She doesn't know that we're recording a podcast.
Put her on the spot again.
Yeah, let's go. Put her on the spot again.
She must hate this.
Yeah, she forgets. Hey, babe.
Hey.
What's going on? I think you forgot that we're recording a podcast and you're on the air again.
Wait. This is good.
Stop answering.
Karina, no.
I'm not calling you anymore.
Wait, Karina, quick question. What do you think of the legendary dad bod competition? Talk to me. Is it not the best?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Shantez going to beat him though, I think.
I think Shantez is taking the lead on this one, but you never know. It's a close call.
Okay. How many dollars do we need to put in there to make sure Dave wins? Do we throw $1,000 at it?
Election, so.
All right, babe. Thank you for your input. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Wow, the laugh "love you" at the end. That's
right.
It's not good later. She's gonna be pissed.
Right. Yeah. She clearly forgets my schedule. Right. But that's her lunch period as a teacher. So hopefully that
lunch period.
Yeah.
It's 10 a.m.
All right, listen, man. When you wake up at 4:30 in the morning, it's lunchtime, baby.
It's always
no
lunch.
Snooze. You know what I mean?
All right. While we're on the dad bod situation. I put up 300, right? And I feel real good about myself.
Oh, yes. We do need to talk about this.
You wait.
Yes.
You wait, you bastard. Sorry. You're getting me fired up. I had to strap on my dumbbells to make sure I hit the 300, right? I do it. It drops. It breaks.
It broke?
It broke. I fixed it. But it broke. Like, you're not supposed to slam those weights, and it fell off. And I'm like, wow, like 300, not bad. Like, I've been lifting, but not like crazy. Then my man puts up a post, woke up starving. He did 315 for like 10. I'm like, just like wait an extra day. Let people think it's a lot of weight before you come show people.
It is a lot of weight. 300.
Don't talk down to me.
300.
I'll put you in a headlock.
300 is a lot of weight. And I was proud of you, man.
But you woke up hungry.
So I woke up starving.
They call it wheels. My boy, Big Boy, calls it wheels.
Yeah.
Donuts.
Yeah, donuts, wheels.
So 315. What do you think your max is?
So yeah,
people, I'm sure,
but then I thought you were upset at me because
of course not.
Then of course not. I hate you.
Not.
Then the next day, you had sent that to Frank and I. So I'm thinking and then Frank sent a nice little cute video of him doing his legs,
his squats.
I thought we had a nice.
But get brother belts.
It was cute. Yeah, you guys are the belt brothers.
We got back issues because the way we're shaped, we have the Pirelli belly. Right. So even if we're in
Frank
good
is diced.
Even he's good. He's good.
He's good.
He's got to work on the legs though. He's at disadvantage because his proportions all out of whack. You know what I mean? I look athletic because I'm taller, so I get away with a lot more.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Frank is what? Extremely short or something like that?
No, he's shorter, so it's like more compound. The issues.
Frank, you're huge, kid. You're huge. Yeah. So anyway, we have a group chat, me, him, and Frank, right? And we, they were sending workout videos.
Do you remember what I said when I sent the video?
What you said?
I wrote,
What'd you write?
am I just...
Oh, am I a freak athlete or what? Yes. But it's true because you just snap back so quickly and then you're able to bench 300 pounds. Not that many people could do that.
Not bad.
Very good.
My boy Burt Kreischer calls it the Mickey Mantle gene.
The Mickey Mantle gene.
Because he used to like booze
Yep.
and then just like play baseball and being phenomenal, apparently.
That was like
so
Darryl
he calls it the
Strawberry.
Mickey Mantle gene. Matt Tierno. Have you ever met my buddy Matt Tierno?
Yeah.
He's got the Mickey Mantle gene.
Wow.
He's made bets with people of running like a half marathon and done it without training.
Oh, wow.
Like, I want to do
That's no
that
joke.
stuff. But anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, we're going back and forth, and the next day I'm in the gym. So I'm like, well, let me get my hype up.
Yeah.
Let me send, my bench press.
Yeah.
So like
Your
Frank,
form's good. Your form's
Frank
good.
is- Frank is-
you have a little bounce, though, and your
Well,
hands are close.
well,
Why are they so close?
Because when I go wide, very heavy pressure on the shoulders.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm looking for.
Not good for me.
See?
So I stay a little bit closer on the bench press.
You were tossing that.
Put up 345. Send the video. Frank
was that
and I are going
345? I
going
didn't
back
even
and
see
forth.
the little
You
guys.
didn't even answer.
Frank's.
No, you didn't even answer.
I didn't answer?
Yeah, our group chat. You went like ghost on us.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm not great.
I'm thinking you were.
Oh my God. I
you were
literally
ups-
said Matt Tierno. Look,
And he
who just
texted?
me.
Wow.
Weird.
That is
Go
weird.
ahead.
But I'm thinking you're like upset at me or something for
No, of
like
course
just
not.
being a
Of
Greek
course
god,
not. I just-
with a beautiful beard,
I
nice
just-
lathered up, great biceps, good
I
dad
would
bod.
picture you in my gym with an X through it. That's why I haven't invited you over.
You have the No Snooze logo over my face?
Yeah, just friggin'. No, I do. I like doing that stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Wait, so answer the question. Why didn't you answer my text message?
I missed it. I'm bad at text.
Jeez.
When did you
I'm
send
bad
it?
at text. It was Sunday.
Yeah, Sundays I'm no good because it's the
Sundays
Jets.
I'm no good.
We went to the Salvos for a bit, then we went straight there to the Jet game. Then the Jets lost by 60.
That sounds like such an Italian thing to say.
Lot of
Sundays,
accents.
I'm no good.
I'm no good on Sundays.
I'm no
and
good
I didn't
on
work
Sundays.
this Sunday. What is your 1 rep bench max?
So that was the heaviest I've gone in a while.
But you did how many sets, right? So what do you think? Like if I said if you do this rep, you're going to get legendary dad bod, what would the number be?
I think I can get without a spot.
No, with like spot, like legit.
With
like
a
I'm there, looking good.
You
belt,
can help me belt with the spot.
Belt with the spot.
I think I can get 375
Really? I thought
Yeah,
you'd
'cause-
go way more aggressive on me.
because I can do 355
Have you
by
done
myself.
400 ever?
4 plates? No, 4 or
I
5.
think we
no.
got to do that. I
We
think you
could
got to
probably
get
do
to
that.
4 plates. I got to get.
It depends
to
on the
something.
spot. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a
but
great spotter,
For me
dude.
to be
One of the
safe,
best.
I don't know.
In my basement, I have it down to a science where my bench is
Yep.
where there is no wasted energy. It's literally this, and it's out.
And it's just
it's
there.
nice.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean we could try it, but again, my joints even the next day after that, they don't feel the best. They feel much better when I keep, moderate weight.
Oh, my wrist is effed up. It's
Yeah,
definitely
like
not healthy. But I think mentally,
don't-
I think you're right. I think I need to be thrown around weights to feel more like primal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good look for me to be bench pressing more than NFL guys when it comes to the 225 combine.
No
You know what
biggie,
I'm saying?
no
No
biggie.
biggie.
Do you think I can get to 400?
400 pounds by yourself?
No, like with a spot. Not like you're lifting it with me, but like eventually.
No.
Really? You
Yeah.
don't think
A
it's
400
impossible?
pound
I think we
clean-
can do it.
Clean bench press? No.
If there's any workout that I have a shot, it's bench. My bench has been my strong suit forever.
Well, clearly, I mean, you benched 300 pounds by yourself clean, but in adding an additional 100 pounds to your bench press,
It'd be a lot
clean,
of fun. Be fun.
without any
Maybe I dirty bulk and just get
get huge. I mean, is it possible? Yes, but I think the amount of training that you actually have to do for that is
All
more
right, maybe
more than what
maybe
you're
we'll make
willing
it-
to.
Maybe
to
we'll
do.
make it a lesser.
I think 315 you got in the bag. I think 335. I think even 350 is a good.
350 would be
max.
pretty awesome to
Yeah,
say.
man, that's
Part
good.
of me knows like no one really cares. Like
Wait,
if you go up
what's-
to someone, but it is fun to be like, I can bench this much. Even if you don't tell people, just to know that like if you ever get put on the spot and someone's like, you can't bench that much, you could just do it.
Just do it. Yeah. See, to me,
I'm
it's
in it for that, the party trick. Like if
I
people
gotcha.
are at the
Yes.
house and we're talking and someone's like, there's no, and then
And you
I
just
bet
come
big
downstairs.
on it.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'll bet you $1,000 right now.
See,
and then boom,
I
that
can
one.
see that. To me, it's the least for me, the least impressive thing to do.
What
For me,
bench?
like a bench press. Like I don't take pride, me personally,
Well, makes one of us.
in a big bench. I used to.
What do
I
you
used
take
to.
pride in?
I love pull-ups. I
Okay,
think,
you do a
like,
great pull up. I got to get back
I think
into that.
I think calisthenics are dope. I think doing 100 push-ups straight is impressive.
Yeah,
I think benching 225 for 20 reps is good.
100 push-up straight. Did you
Yeah.
just say?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that is impressive.
You know what I mean? Like I think that style of fitness is cooler.
I think that's our brand, though. I think our new, not our new brand, but a brand we should lean into is like doing impressive shit.
Right.
Like,
that's it.
But you got to work towards that impressive thing. Like, I think for me, it's going to be the one rep of something. Like, whether it's a deadlift.
That is impressive. Because you went from not really working out like that.
But I'm saying in general, whatever it is, squat. Like, I think that I find joy in.
Yes.
When I'm working out towards something versus just working out to feel good.
I got you.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah.
Figuring that out.
Yeah.
But this week was not good. We did not. Poor Petey got super sick. I hear all of our dogs are going through issues.
Oh, yeah, man.
He was yakking. He was up every hour. Then Livy got up at 4 because she's just a nutcase and talking nonstop. Is Kelly talking nonstop?
Yeah.
And it's like they're saying stuff but not making sense.
Don't they look so big?
Oh my God. The way Livy throws her weight around now, I'm like, you could bench 300.
She's benching. That's like Callie the other day. She's like chilling in a chair, like just in a rocking chair.
Are they just going to be
like,
bruisers?
Right? Just big chicks.
Just like
No
dominant.
dads
like,
just have big chicks.
like in, I don't know what movie it is, but when there's like pats them on top of the head. You ever
Isn't that a movie, Big Chicks?
No, White Chicks.
Oh, White Chicks. That's a good movie.
You want to talk about mothers?
That's a good movie.
That would be a great Halloween costume for us.
What's his name? Terry Crews.
Oh, he
Hilarious.
lived in Greenwich for a bit.
What's that? What's the song where he's in the car with the no, with the girl.
1001.
Yes, yes, that is the best part of that movie. You like my movie knowledge is getting.
Terry Crews is too big for me. I look at a lot of men's bodies.
I saw him at CVS
where I want to be
one time.
He's massive.
He has one baby arm. It's weird.
One baby arm?
Yeah.
My left arm's a little baby.
No, but you can visually tell he's got a baby arm. But in photos and
you
stuff,
don't have baby arms though. Your arms are perfect. They're not.
Listen,
you don't even know a movie.
Don't talk about my arms.
Your arms aren't scrawny. They're perfect. Big Daddy, great quote.
Big Daddy.
Yeah,
I know that movie too.
You don't know
Adam Sandler.
You don't know Big Daddy.
Adam Sandler and the cute little kid.
Yeah, he's the best. That movie gives me anxiety because there's just a kid who shows up out of nowhere.
I used to practice my loogies from it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, remember that was disgusting. My favorite part of that whole movie is when he's going to the bathroom and the lady's looking. He goes, "What's your name?" He'll write it on the wall.
Yes, that was good. You kind of remind me of Adam Sandler.
I do. I feel like him.
You definitely do.
Good at basketball. He's a freak athlete.
Is he?
A lot of people don't know that.
Big bench press.
Great basketball player. Good mid-range jumper. Seriously, Shaq even said it.
That's hilarious. So we went back and forth a little here. I was going to bring the current event as the dad bod.
We just crushed it.
Yeah, so that was it. I know you're on deck this week for a recce.
Yes, got a recce. This is so I mentioned in the past. I've been doing an Audible. It's I think $17 a month. That's not my recommendation. It's an actual book, but I've been
called Audible or
Audible's the service, so you can listen, to Amazon books. And my book that has been my favorite, I've been doing like 1 or 2 books a month. Mm-hmm. It's called Confessions of a Real Estate Entrepreneur. The reason I liked it so much is it's an actual attorney from Connecticut that talks about areas that I'm familiar with and how he started as an attorney and has built his portfolio. And he talks about his deals and he talks about like everything that went wrong. So he's like, this is where I learned that you never get a seller and a buyer in the same spot and not be there to he's like, always be there and be ready to pull the plug and manage the conversation. Long story short, one guy was talking about how he got a deal and like the parking situation was not as good as they think, like something you would never say, right? And he basically changed the topic, paid for lunch, and they left. So he like talks about specific scenarios that are really interesting and how he got deals done. And like basically an agent was marketing that you couldn't do this type of development. He was an attorney, so he went to the town hall, said, if I did this, would you approve it? They said yes. So he got it into contract, and it's very literal. Like it's very, he shows you examples. It's my favorite book on real estate I've read in the last 10 years.
And it hits home for you.
It's amazing. It's like, I struggle with a lot of times I read stuff and it's all fluff. Do you ever get into a book and you're like, this book could have been 10 pages?
10-page Dave. Yeah, that's a good reference there, Mikey. But yeah, no, I agree.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah. The books that I read are exactly what you're talking about. I think reading or Audible, whatever it is, but books itself, the best books to learn from are actually people's experiences.
And it's not 100%. So much the
versus theory.
And the value, I think, in a book is the stories. Like,
yes.
That's why podcasts are so popular.
You learn from stories.
When there's a it's like the fables.
Yes.
When there's an actual story behind it, you understand the lesson.
Yes.
and you can think of the specific story that someone says, and then it sticks.
You know that Ed Milet quote? Very,
No.
very perfect for this.
Eddie Mai.
Facts tell,
What do you think he benches?
stories sell.
Ooh.
Right?
That's a good one. That's a good one. And the only part of Audible, which is tough, is like I get that credit every month. So I'm like, I have to get a book.
Yep.
And sometimes when you don't know what kind of book you want, you just take a
get
shot.
one.
And then you start listening. You're like, oh, this is terrible. Like there's nothing relevant.
Yep.
It's just not what I want to listen to.
Yeah, no, that's a great tip.
But is there anything
the
better
books-
than listening to something where it's a podcast where you're just like 100% relating?
and you're locked in?
You're like,
Yes.
oh, this is exactly what I need.
I agree 100%.
And then stuff's happening in real life where you're like, oh, I'm literally reading this right now and it's happening in real life.
Yep.
The
Yeah, I
best.
find myself exactly what you're saying. Every book that I'm reading and focusing on is I've got away from the theory piece. Like I feel like
The general
especially
stuff?
in your 30s, right? You know what's right and you know what's wrong. You know what to do.
Generally, yeah.
Generally, right? So for me, I don't need a book that's going to tell me, the best things in leadership is 1, 2, and 3. I want somebody that's going to say this is the best thing in leadership because I went through X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
It's the same type of thing, but it puts a story behind it.
Yeah.
I think for me that definitely hits in terms of learning, and then that's something that you can actually teach because it's like, hey, I heard this story. Like when we talk about value in a couple minutes, I'm going to tell you a couple stories that, well, one of them is mine, and then another one is one that I learned, and I can just keep repeating.
Yeah.
But it teaches people the actual lesson.
Yeah. I find it hard finding a relevant mentor for what I'm trying to do because it's not very, people have done it for sure, but a lot of those people are too far ahead where like they won't give me the time because they're busy people, or they're very keep it by their chest because it's competitive.
Yeah.
Right. Like because it's so specific.
Yes.
Investing in Greenwich real estate and building a portfolio in town
Greenwich,
is very specific versus like just building a portfolio.
Yes.
But I'm finding that you can learn in books. Like this guy is what I want to be eventually. And he just happened to write a book.
Who is it?
James A. Randall is the guy's name.
James A. Randall.
James A. Randall. Great book. But he's an attorney too. So he's like his big thing is to not be emotional when doing a deal. He's like, I understand you're going to get heated. People are going to throw out numbers that insult you. But if you can keep emotion out of it and just be logical and talk through things with people, he's like 9 times out of 10, you'll figure it out. And if you don't, there's more fish in the sea type of thing. He's good. It was very good.
Great life lesson as well.
Yeah.
Right?
That was a good one. There was a book originally that I fell in love with real estate with, which is Building Wealth One House at a Time, which I've mentioned.
I remember you speaking of.
But since that book, I haven't found something that has changed my perspective as much as this one.
Yep.
Yeah,
man.
And there's a lot of junk books, especially on real estate.
Well, there's a lot of fluff
crap.
books.
Fluff. Same stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And when there's no credibility to it, it makes it tough.
Yeah. And sometimes the books just hit based on where you are in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Good, man. I'm looking at Remembering Marilyn over there. 50 years later.
She was it.
She was it. She definitely was.
Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah. What? Marilyn Monroe, right?
Yeah.
Not Marilyn Manson. That's another.
That's a guy.
CV was about to get on there.
One, and this is, I guess, in relation, kind of a recommendation. So I recommend. There's an interview. You know who Chaz Palminteri is, Sonny?
Yes.
From Bronx Tale.
Yep.
He is interviewing with Patrick Bet-David, who's like one of my idols. Patrick Bet-David was in Greenwich, by the way, at Tony's. Me and Dana were trying to figure out where to eat dinner. I wanted to go to Tony's. We went to Rosina's.
Ooh.
We missed seeing Patrick Bet-David in Tony's.
Wow.
Dana messaged him. He responded to her. I messaged him. He didn't respond to me.
Big miss.
Yeah, pissed. Anyway, so Chaz Palminteri has an interview with Patrick Bet-David, and he talks about Bronx Tale. Did you know Chaz's real name is Close, you know?
Really?
Oh. The movie's based on his effing life.
Yeah.
He couldn't get a role, so he's like, I'll just write myself into a role about my life. He wrote, apparently, like, listen to the interview because it'll go into more detail, but he wrote a scene. Someone read it and was like, this is incredible. He started doing a one-man show. Literally, by himself, he started enacting his whole, he did every character. Then video producers or whatever wanted to buy the rights to make a movie. They offered him, he was broke. He said he was pouring water into his radiator because the car would break down. They offered him $500,000 on the spot and said, but you can't play Sonny. You can't be in the movie. He said no, and I'm going to do it myself. Then apparently there was a bidding war, and then they bought him a new car, and then he sold the rights, but he got to play the character.
Wow.
And he said from basically in the span of the movie, he was from a no one, and then he became best friends with Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro, yep.
And he said at one point he shared olives with Frank Sinatra. And he said that was the only person that I was starstruck from, because Frank Sinatra's presence was like nothing I've ever felt. And the way he carried himself, he like when he walked in the room, just commanded attention. I was like, that's interesting.
Wow, that is.
Coming from a Chaz Palminteri, who's that guy.
Who is that guy?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I was like, wow, his real name's Closure. I would never.
That is crazy. I didn't think about that. But fun fact about Bronx Tale, first of all, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. You know that.
That's why.
You know that. But my dad is best friends with Louis, who was in the movie as Crazy Mario.
Really?
Big nose,
Yeah.
and dies in the fire
Yeah.
with
Sad.
with the black woman.
Yep.
The whole
It's a great
part
movie.
there. But yeah, they're best friends. He actually still plays pretty locally. My dad and his wife literally connect with them all the time.
And I thought the one-man show, which I hear is phenomenal, started after the movie, but apparently that was first. Then he made the movie, then he started doing the show again.
Yep.
So it was a wild
Yeah,
story. But just like Rocky, he also wrote his own movie and put himself in it. So sometimes you don't wait for permission. You just do it.
You just do it.
Chaz P.
Yeah, man. You want to go value?
Yeah, my man's he's providing value all day.
For real. Well, this is a lot of value already. But conversation of like how to provide value, right?
Yeah.
So
hit me with a little more.
you need a little decaf.
Yeah.
Well, you want
This is going to be our when you're going from Starbies to
a
Dunkin'.
little Starby to Donkey action here.
No, too much.
Too much.
My heart's going to
Come
stop.
back.
That's good. That's
All right.
Just a little smack.
You guys got to
Is
get
your
on.
stomach messed up? Like
You guys got to get on YouTube to watch this. This is hilarious.
Sometimes I get to the point where I'm just locked in with so much caffeine I forget to eat,
Yep.
which has been a big downfall. Like where I get like agita and heartburn when I try to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really
doesn't
struggling
happen.
to get enough protein.
I got the stomach of a goat, you know?
Apparently, yeah, Mr.
Oh, wait. Before we get into value, though, we missed two important things on the momentum piece, right? First, we spoke about the Instagram, doing well. Prolon, right? We're we're not releasing everything yet. You guys will start to see it on the Instagram and stuff like that. But we are going to be an official affiliate and influencer with Prolon, which is basically a patented diet that mimics intermittent fasting to rejuvenate cells and promote healthy weight loss. So it's something that the No Snooze brand is basically all about. It's a 5-day fast. You consume about 800 calories through soups and teas, but it keeps your body in that fasted state to promote that weight loss over the 5 days. Karina just did it. She absolutely loved it. Everybody that I know personally, and I know a lot of people using it, lose between 5 to 7 pounds through the 5 days, but it's more about the rejuvenation of the cells. Think about me, right? One, I have the Crohn's disease, and two, I eat a lot of red meat. I eat a lot of, lean proteins, and a lot of Oreos. So I need that reset, right? When was the last time that I went on a fast for 5 days? Never.
I love a good fast.
You know what I mean?
One of my favorite
like
things.
You as the 1,000-calorie kid, I feel like you're going to really hit home with this one.
I think I screwed it up though. This would be a good reset.
But that's what we need.
Yeah, it's a
and
good
I think
reset.
it'll be great for people who are, wanting to get into a diet. So you run this Prolon fast 5 days, then you get into your diet. I think the benefits will be incredible. Somebody like us, that eats crazy on the weekends, but you monitor yourself during the week. Great for rejuvenation. I'm excited for it, man, and it's a great opportunity for No Snooze. So be on the lookout.
And let me tell you one thing: if you made it this far, the price of admission to watch the show, it's technically free. But if you have any value, any entertainment out of this, like, subscribe, drop a couple subs, show some loves.
Oh, subs
Right?
and loves. And then also we'll get into this another time, but we got what was the new tagline? Weights and steaks.
Oh yes, so
Yeah, baby.
we have all these ideas, and a lot of it comes down to the execution of it and figuring out the format. But what we want to do is this, where we work out.
Yep.
I put up 400 pounds. Then I'll grab some steaks from a local butcher
You're
and
gonna
we'll
grab?
grill them
Perfect,
up
beautiful.
or whatever. We'll rotate.
No, you'll pay for them good.
Yeah, we'll pay for. I'll go all local, support local.
Okay, all right.
And then we'll grill it up in the driveway because I'm nervous to cook a nice steak, but I have all the faith in David Regina
There we
to
go.
cook a mean steak.
There we
I actually did one in the air fryer last night. Delicious.
Really?
Have you ever tried doing an air fryer?
Not a steak in the air fryer. I never tried.
It's kind of like sacrilegious for someone who's a big steak
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
but 8 minutes. I did I forget what it's called, the dry brine, where you salt it before you leave it in the fridge.
Yep.
And I threw it on and it creates a crust. I thought it was delicious. 8 minutes, flip. I cooked the potatoes right in there with it. Delicious. I got to start documenting. I've had a tough time snapping back into routine for whatever reason these last 2 to 3 weeks, and I can't figure it out.
And responding to text messages.
Everything. I've just
my beautiful
struggled
bench
for
press,
some reason. It's because maybe because business hasn't been too busy, and I'm not forced to yet, but for whatever reason, I got to get back on track. Anyway, like, subscribe, show some love, drop a sub.
We wanted to take a quick second to let you guys know that we partnered with our good friends over at Orgain.com. We're happy to offer our listeners 30% off by entering the code NoSnooze30. Again, that's NoSnooze30 for 30% off your first order. If you're on the market for a new protein powder, nutritional shake, protein bar, or Mike's favorite, collagen peptides, Orgain is your one-stop shop. As all of you know, my Crohn's disease is currently in remission, and the only protein I use is from Orgain. My personal favorites are the chocolate peanut butter and the vanilla bean. With the code, you can try a 2-pound tub for under $20. Talk about not snoozing. Go get yours today. Now, back to the epi.
Value. Let's get back to that. After our caffeine took us on a rant.
Is this espresso?
I like to think back on things that, in the moment I didn't take advantage of, but I could have, and it teaches me a lesson, and I hold that lesson with me now moving forward. Freshman year, fun fact, Dave Regina got cut from the basketball team. Third
Did you know person. That? Did I know that? I assumed you're Michael Jordan-esque, so I'm sure you got cut somewhere.
But literally, so I moved to Greenwich. I try out
Greenwich basketball.
Yeah.
That's a joke, though. Greenwich basketball is a joke.
So listen, I try out.
They just didn't know what they were.
Try out one day, have a great day. Second day, pull my calf or my hamstring, and I forget what it was, but I was so upset about it. And basically, I remember my grandfather telling me about value, right? And saying, look, if you really want to be on this team, you need to go speak to the coach. And even though you're injured, maybe that one tryout that you had was, sufficient enough, but you can actually become the biggest cheerleader right now for people. And in my defense, what my thought process was, I remember being like, well, that's stupid because I just moved to the school. I don't know anybody. I'm damn sure not going to cheer for anybody because I'm not happy if I don't make that team.
Yeah.
Right. So I ended up getting cut from the team because I only tried out one time. I went to the actual next tryouts, but I couldn't practice.
Yeah.
Right. And instead I sat there with my mouth shut. So that was one lesson I remember that I completely failed. Right. Completely failed. End up coming back, obviously, the next 3 years, scoring 1,000 points, nice basketball,
no
biggie. Then fast forward into college. There was this guy, his name was also Dave. Was not the most skilled athlete.
Super Dave.
Exactly.
He is the best nickname of all time.
He was not the most skilled athlete on our team by any means. But this dude brought so much damn value to the team because he was the biggest cheerleader and encourager on the entire team. Mm-hmm. And there were some drills that he would come in last, but he was cheering and screaming every game, every scrimmage, ended up, getting a spot on the team and becoming just as important as, Travoy Pointer, who was one of our best players, or Jose Glenn Rodriguez, or Angelo LaRoche, or Lamar Glass, or Armani Blackman. Shout out all my roommates.
Tag them all. That's a clip.
Well, there's so many more too. I don't want to leave.
Yeah, a lot of people.
But sport for me, looking back, taught me a major lesson about value, and me failing to provide value in that moment now makes me think every situation that I get into, I need to be providing value in. Fast forward to my adult life, listening to a podcast about a past president that was basically saying, look, 100 years ago, there wasn't a focus in terms of like a career. People were delivering mail, then they were cobblers making shoes. I thought about peach cobbler when I heard that, but
dude, it's pie season too,
right?
Pie season is dangerous.
Cobblers making shoes and then preaching on Sunday.
Pumpkin pie guy,
right? So the point was, you need to be, if somebody gives you an opportunity, you need to be able to provide value wherever your feet are, and you need to take advantage of the opportunity. That was something that I never ever again will ever forget. Now in my life, I'm very focused on it. I'll speak on some personal things, but go over to you. Value piece. What's your thought?
I think that in the same line like sports, right? I had a very mediocre sports career, which has created a complex where I knew I wasn't all in on sports. Like Frank loved sports, but I was kind of like, right. I'll do it. I'm decent. I'll get by. But created a losing mentality where I was not valuable within the avenue. So because of that, now later in life, I've decided when I'm focusing on something, it has to be something where I think I can be, it could be super valuable because I enjoy it and I'm learning about it, like improving. If you're not in an avenue where you think you can continually improve and get better, then you're just kind of like a sitting duck and you're at the consequences of other people's basically motivations because they'll pass you whenever they decide to. So the adding value piece more is become like I need to focus on things I enjoy, because if I enjoy it, I'll learn about it. And if I learn about it, I'll be super valuable to people I interact with about it. Does that make sense?
I love it.
So like everything I do now, I'm very, to a fault, very like guarded where people want me to do like, remember the public speaking thing I always get weird about? It's because I don't want to put the time in to learn how to public speak better for that type of application.
Gotcha.
So I get very like defensive because I'm like, I don't want to be mediocre at it. I don't have a problem being bad at stuff if I know that eventually I'm going to get better at it and be much better in the future. But I don't like doing things like golf, for example. I just decided not to play golf because I'm terrible, but I'm not going to put in the time to get better this year. So I'm like, I'm not wasting my time doing something I'm not going to get better. The other thing that I want to mention is that when you have an opportunity, you have to figure out a way to be different, which then adds value because like we're in the real estate world, which I always come back to. I'm a commodity. Like why?
A hot one.
No. Well, I'm the same as anyone else that's going to say your property. So how am I different? Content, videos, doing things that are a little more valuable for them, but then also for myself. So like figuring out how to add value, but also at different value. It's like, can someone replicate this value? Right. So that's been a lot what I'm thinking about. Add value also lands on the investment of properties. So your creativity, for example, on this new property that we're working on, is going to add value to it. So everything that we do, I'm like, in a lens of like, if we're going to ever resell or rent it out, is it going to improve that or is it going to hurt it? And if it hurts it, you don't do it. If you improve it, you do it. So it's just a constant thread throughout your life. It's just like family too, right? Like every thought is how can I add value to my family so that in the future we're in a better position than we were this past year. You know? So it's a very general thing.
No, it's not general. It's not general at all. You want to be valuable. You gotta. I mean, first thing too for me is, if I could think of, where I've come from in business, you got to be willing to watch and listen, right? We're especially us. I mean, the three of us specifically, we're doers, right? So you always want to get in somewhere and do. First thing is really watching and listening. See what's going on in that organization that you want to be valuable in, right? And from there, you're listening and you're watching to see how people are communicating, listening to what people are saying, finding the gaps actually in the organization. But really, you're sitting back. Like this was my approach when I made the leap from director of recreation up to, the commissioner level, because I couldn't just go in and do things that I wanted to do because I had to really learn first. Right. And as I guess after you sit back, you got to be alone. Literally alone by yourself to figure out, okay, now you've identified these gaps. Where does your skill set fit into the gaps in that organization? You know what I mean? And it really takes some time because if you try to execute immediately, you're more than likely gonna fail. And that was something that I was very mindful of. And those two things, and that approach to create value, like from making that direct leap from recreation to commissioner, I saw we had an extreme gap in the revenue that was coming in. We're providing these great services, but we're not properly getting enough data and monitoring our systems on the revenue coming in. We're providing services to, yes, the local community, which is great. That's what we're there for. But at the same time, I saw an opportunity to say, let's do some more outreach, bring in some other surrounding areas that are right outside the local community. You charge them as non-residents, bring in revenue that ultimately creates more opportunity for the, for the people in that local community. Right. And that was something that really got me to that next level. And it was a lesson I just remember. So I figured I'd speak on it.
A woman I work with, she's an office manager, but she doesn't get like as much credit as she deserves. She's like the heart. If you went into the office, you'd be like, oh, like she's just, doing stuff behind the desk. But she does all the reports. She hears everyone talk about listings. Very smart. And early on, she told me, she goes, you have to make yourself invaluable so that it's more difficult to replace you than to keep you happy.
Correct.
And I was like, ooh, that's
bingo.
good. Right? It's very straightforward.
Target.
But it's like you just got to wedge yourself in the system.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they pull you out of the system, they're effed.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And that goes right along with being authentic too.
Yeah.
Right. And when you have an approach, whether you're a leader or you're not a leader, depending on the position.
And I'm not
Yep.
saying to blackmail people and like hold them to like, but when you do need some type of improvement
Yep.
or some value to be sent your way,
Right.
they're more likely to do it because they're like, it's much easier for me to do that
Yes.
than go find another Dave Regina.
I agree.
Sorry,
100%.
go ahead.
And then
I'll
also,
specify.
no, it's perfect. I'm glad you cut me off there. But being authentic, right? When you are in any position and you lead with the intention of trying to understand everybody and to learn from somebody else, watch how your life changes, right? And that's actually just providing value in itself. Being able to speak to the janitor or the CEO with the same level of intensity and energy is of value. And that's something that everybody can do starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Do the next right thing in your life. A personal mission of mine every day when I go to work is doing the right thing by the people that I've been selected to lead. And then also doing the right thing by the people who have already been there before me to make sure that I'm only enhancing and developing what they've already created. Right? We speak on this before. It's not my mission, it's our mission. You know what I mean? And that's something that can never get lost.
So there's I'm hesitant to share strategy within my real estate game plan because in the past, it's more of a whatever the mentality. What's that called? A scarcity mentality.
Yep.
But now I'm more comfortable because to replicate it's very difficult. So something that I've realized that was intentional, but I didn't realize how powerful it was yet, was the whole reason for the food thing is so that I have data that is valuable to clients in the future, right?
Yes.
So I put out a poll that said, do we need a donut shop? Which is very basic, and people are like, oh, Mike's just having fun. But the strategy behind it is now I know that the town wants a donut shop.
Mm-hmm.
So if a donut company or a investment firm comes to me and says, what can we use this space for? Listen, I have 300 locals that voted on this that want a donut shop in this location.
Yep.
It's super valuable to people in the future, whereas a lot of people think it's just a fun way to get your name out. But in reality, I'm getting all this data and network that in the future is going to provide a lot of value to people. But right now, it's seen as like just a gag.
I don't think it's seen like that. I gotta be honest.
For a lot of people, you know the lens.
Well,
you have the strategy.
But I look at what you're doing too, and I think telling Mike sent you is an extremely valuable piece. It's not about the value of the viewer and the listener there, but your value, correct me if I'm wrong, is to promote local business, right? And you're bringing them a lens and a platform that you're highlighting their great menu item and putting it out on your platform in hopes to get obviously more business to them, which also creates a relationship for you and that business owner.
Absolutely. But
right? But that's providing value.
Well, it's providing value, but it's also creating value.
Correct.
You're creating, for us, our
Yep.
creating value is like establishing that we're successful in whatever angle we're going for.
Right.
And then sharing with people how we created
Yes.
whatever we created.
Yep.
So it's by just doing all this stuff and putting yourself in a position to get, I think data is one of like the biggest value.
100%.
Clearly you've achieved a aesthetic and a body and a success just in general, right? So people see success and they say, how do I duplicate that? There in turn is the value.
I don't know if I'm successful, Michael.
All you have to be is more successful than someone below, and then you're more.
Okay, all right, cool.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I got it. I'm more successful than 16-year-old Justin Anthony Sanchez. Shout out.
It's very simple when it comes
Yep.
down to it, but it's hard. It's hard to execute.
Yeah, man.
Because it's
I was just interviewed by a great student at George Mason University. Right?
GMU.
Yep. Remember back in the day?
Big run,
Remember?
basketball.
Yes,
Yeah.
they had a huge run and a couple Final Fours. And the question she had asked was, how do you build trust and value in your organization? Which then got me thinking about, okay, well, let's, this is going on in our lives. Like, let me see if this is something we want to speak out on the podcast. And I told her 3 things. And the first thing was eye contact. So easy to do. So easy to do.
I've been hammering you with some eye contact.
Right. But when you're talking to somebody, you need to be able to look them in the eyes. And if you're not able to do that, that level of trust automatically goes down. So that was the first thing that I think everybody can be doing. Eye contact when you're talking to somebody. Make the person in front of you feel as important as if you were talking to your mother or somebody that important in your life. The person in front of you should always be the most important. Facts. Right. And I could see her face and she was like, wow, okay. Like, I think, and she was explaining to me that she has a problem with eye contact. And I was like, we all do. I had to take public speaking courses in college and I had to get uncomfortable in that eye contact space. But it's something that if you're not looking at people when you're talking to them, that trust level goes down and that automatically changes the value. The next thing is repeated action, right? You look at repeated action and whether it's a small action or a large action, your habits define you. And it doesn't matter if you're on time, if you're supposed to be on time for a meeting or you're casting a big vision over your entire staff. The repeated actions are going to define you. So that was the second thing that I spoke on. And then the third thing that I think identifies me personally as a unique leader is I have a vision for other people. Like the people who are on my team, I personally have a vision for them. What that does is allows them to get the confidence they need to move forward and for them to visualize a better them in their own lives. When they start achieving that, I've noticed that the trust and the value comes back to me.
Yeah.
Because now now they're loyal to Dave Regina.
Yeah.
And that's something that uniquely, I'm sure a lot of people do it, but I've heard feedback on that specific thing. Wow, you believed in me so much, whether if it was the student that I was talking to or it was, one of my other commissioners. You believe in me more than I believe in myself.
Believe in the 400
I
on
see
the bench, okay?
I see.
Believe in it.
I am. So 3 little things that, during that question, took me a minute to think about.
You make a great point. I think that the adding value, if you can, I don't know who said it, but they basically said whenever you work with someone, when they come out of the relationship, they should feel as though they left better than when they came because of having worked with you. Right. Whether that's a long-term relationship or a short-term, every time you interact with someone, you both should be, 1 + 1 = 3 type of thing, right? Which is interesting to think about. And it is really how you should operate. It's like, all right, well, we want to build a podcast, but what's everyone's individual goal within that podcast and how do they benefit? And how do we all improve? Because at the end of the day, by us all improving, it's going to help the big thing again, which is the podcast. So it's a very easy concept, hard to achieve within a team. Yeah.
But hopefully, a couple things that we just spoke on, I mean, will resonate and hit home. But that lesson of making the person in front of you feel important. Yeah. That's got to be the focus. Because as a very, busy, productive, overwhelmed person, you have meetings and you have people in your office all day. I still need to improve on this myself for sure, because there's so many times that I'll be in the middle of something, I'll half-ass a conversation, and then after that, I'm like, damn. Yeah. But that's something that we could all be doing. And that right there provides value. So if it's, if you can take that away from this episode, God bless you.
God bless you.
God bless you. Yeah. No, man, good stuff. You got anything else on value?
I think you have to stay in your arena. I think you have to be on your home court. Like, I'm not saying don't be uncomfortable, but you need to, when you don't know something, admit you don't know it, because you can't bullshit. And then if you bullshit, it comes back to when you actually. So I think you need to improve within your lane, because if you try to be in too many lanes, you're never going to be confident in your response and value. Does that make sense?
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? Focus, hardest thing for me that I struggle with daily is staying focused in my lanes, because our reality is our confidence level and what we're like, we can figure it out. But it's like, do you really want to figure it out? And do you want to commit the time to figure it out? Yes. And it's difficult. It's a difficult thing.
Yeah, man. No, well said. And, on another note, you see all these logos over here. And this is a brand that we
shout out Rossetti.
Oh, yes.
Our number one, he jumped to our number one fan overnight. My man put in the biggest order to date. Yes. He's not going to be wearing anything other than the No Snooze brand.
That's right. He brought every sweatsuit. So shout out Joe Rossetti.
Can I make a comment too? I think we're a hoodie I think we're a winter. We our hoodies.
They're fire.
Out of everything are the things that stick.
They are fire.
I love our t-shirts and all that stuff, but the hoodie, do we bring back the original soft, super soft? hoodie at some point, because I've gotten a lot of people that are like, I personally like V2 more.
Yeah.
Which one do you like more?
I like the original feel of V1. I like the longevity of V2.
V2
Does that make sense?
makes me want to work out. V1 makes me want to cuddle up and have a pumpkin pie.
But I think one is a one is a lightweight hoodie, and then the other one is a heavier duty, like, and more sustainable hoodie. I think
We'll put up a poll if you want V1, V2.
V1, V2.
For the OGs that have the V1, I threw it on the other day. Kind of nice.
It is nice.
But the V2 is just like, it's a solid, you can work out in it.
Yep.
I like the sweat.
It's durable.
Brings.
It's definitely
durable.
much more durable.
That's a good word.
Yep.
And it's consistently like, it's structures there. I don't like the loosey-goosey stuff, especially if you don't like what's under.
You just hide it.
Yeah.
So you just get the big, you have, I hate those fits, man, where the
you know
elastic,
exactly what I'm saying.
where the elastic band doesn't like hug you.
Yeah,
and
like,
it's just like,
yes.
Yeah.
With shirts where you look like a ghost,
Yes.
like your lower body's a
Just
ghost.
straight square.
Can I share before we end? Can I just share my
Yes.
little part?
Absolutely.
Nope.
CV, cover your ears. Ready?
Time's up. Sorry.
So
We got to wrap up, guys.
yeah, this is real quick. So we're in bed, right? I hate to say
You
it,
and
but
CV are in bed?
me and CV are in bed. Dana and I are sitting in our bed, and it's like it's the witching hour, right?
Oh, no. Here we go.
So I close the door now because I'm like, what are the chances? Like
Taylor, sleep outside.
like Taylor, if you want to come down the stairs, like just do it on your own time. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to know, right? So outside of our door, in between our bedroom and Livy's bedroom, is a doorbell chime. Do you know what a doorbell chime is?
Yeah. It the doorbell thing.
Doorbell. Like when you hit a doorbell, it's the thing that actually hits and makes a noise. So there's a cover on it.
Nope.
So there's a cover on it. So me and Dana just hear a bang. And I'm like, what the hell was that? So this doorbell chime has clips on it, and you have to clip it in.
Yep. This got to get cut.
So this doesn't just fall out randomly, right? Like these clip in. I look down, doorbell chimes on the ground,
Oof.
the cover, and I'm
After
like,
you hear it?
yeah, I
you
hear
hear
it,
it.
and we're like, what was that? And it was on
Very,
the
very
ground.
brave of you that you went out there to check it.
I don't get paranormal stuff doesn't bother me because like this is crazy to say. If that's how I'm gonna go is get possessed by a ghost or like murdered by a ghost, I'm unlucky.
You're okay with that?
Yeah,
All
like
right.
I'm unlucky.
Okay.
If I'm the girl from the exorcism, like I did something in my past where I
Yep.
deserved it or whatever. So it's on the ground. I'm trying not to freak out. I'm like, oh, it's a little weird. So I just like put it on, close the door,
Yeah.
go back in. So the next day I come out and I'm like, did that really happen? Like again at like 11 o'clock at the same time where it happened previously?
There has to be a scientific explanation. There's no way.
It's possible. It's
You
just
need to start
weird.
setting
need to
up
find that.
cameras.
It's weird. We should, that's
no
scary.
negative. That's
So,
another negative.
so we did. I told you we're doing a renovation show. So Chris was over, and he also doesn't like ghosts, and he's like, I can't wait to look at the footage to
And
see if
see
I
if
can,
there's-
because he shot all upstairs.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, this is gonna get weird. So that happened. There was also like a big bang that we thought was next door in the basement. So the house is old, so like that stuff happens. But then once you start thinking that route, everything starts to scare you. It's not great.
You're much tougher than me.
No, I'm not. Because I was afraid.
Well, so I have.
I had weird dreams too. I don't
Dude.
want to tell you the dreams.
Dude.
I had a dream that someone close to me was going to die in 45 days.
Oh,
And they didn't tell me, and I was pissed off. And I texted them the next day. I'm like, hey, are you all right?
good. It wasn't me.
But I've been having weird dreams
I'm
ever
okay
since
though,
we
right?
saw
I'm okay?
Taylor.
I'm still okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Good.
It wasn't you. It wasn't
Okay.
you.
Good.
Yeah, it wasn't
So when you just said that you went out there at 11 o'clock at night, I have a quick story.
Yeah.
Karina, I don't know if she's ever told it to anybody
like
because
this
she's
stuff. I'm
so
getting nervous.
embarrassed. In our old apartment in White Plains, right? It was actually our first apartment. We had like a Target, couch. We had like hand-me-downs from everybody. The place was a mess, but we lived on our own. It was in college, whatever. Middle of the night, we hear bang, like a big bang, like something that was a dramatic bang.
Yeah.
I literally put my ear to the door. I get up in our bedroom. I put my ear to the door. I'm like, well, the bang went away. Like, we'll check it in the morning. Somehow, some way, we end up falling back asleep. The next morning, we wake up. I open the door. A cloud of smoke comes into the room. The entire ceiling in the living room fell
I remember
in
that.
my freaking apartment, and I didn't even go outside.
Oh my God.
So Karina forever, she's like, you didn't even go out. Like, how did we go back to sleep? And the entire ceiling, you remember that?
Well, yeah, I remember
the entire ceiling, which is another reason. Make sure even if you're renting, get renter's insurance.
Absolutely.
So it was just the most wild thing. But my point is, I was shook. I put my head to the door. I'm like, well, I don't hear anything else. Let's go back to sleep. Then the next morning, all the dust came in my.
I have a quick rapid fire for you guys.
Yes.
Do you sleep with your door open or closed, and why? I mean, you kind of already gave it up, but the why?
So I don't mind with the door open. Lately, we've kept it closed because I don't want to deal with Taylor. Like, you know what I mean? But I, like, Dana will open it and I don't go and close it because I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, I go closed door, locked. I got to protect my women.
But
So the whys on. We need the
you know.
whys. Just because you're protecting your. That's
Yeah.
the way
It's
you're
my
way-
protection.
Well, I
man.
sleep towards, like, the door.
I'm not going out
in
there.
case. Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I used to have night terrors, which is well documented. And I've also had situations where I've seen things and been half awake, where like I'll see my brother will try to wake me up and I'll see like blood in his eyes because I'm still dreaming.
Michael.
So like
Michael.
I've had weird like half awake, half dreams where I've seen like people come out of walls, like my wall open up. I'll be like, too many people. Like I've had weird stuff, which
right.
makes me think I might be an alien
Yeah,
and
yeah,
have gotten
definitely.
abducted.
Definitely. So we're going to move to my favorite section. Dave's Dime of the Week.
Dimes.
Got to wait a second for all the dimes to come out. But not going to lie, this one's a little long, so we're going to have to change it to Dave's Dictionary this week. All right?
Dave's Dictionary.
If you're not doing something with your life, then it doesn't matter how long you live. If you're doing something with your life, then it doesn't matter how short your life may be. A life is not measured by years lived, but by its usefulness. If you are giving, loving, serving, encouraging, and adding value to others, then you're living a life that counts. Fire. Deep. That should be Dave's Deep.
There's a shorter
Dave's Deep.
Dave's
Dave's Deep.
Dave's Deep Dive. Yeah. This is that. There's a shorter version of that. That's
I'm
very-
sure. Well, that's John C. Maxwell, one of the best leadership human beings in the world. He's just the best.
Yeah. I thought he was like a marketer, John C. Maxwell.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I read all his stuff, which is based on
Yeah. What
leadership.
book? Give me a book.
Seven Habits of Highly
That's
Effective
him?
People.
Yeah, it's really
wait,
good.
is that James Covey?
No, that was Stephen Covey.
I mean, Stephen Covey.
Who?
Stephen
Are we
Covey?
just mumbling names?
Yeah. No, John.
I'll get you out of this. I'll get you out of this.
John
yes.
Cena?
Well, that's like the very
Leadership
first book.
101.
That's the first book.
I feel like I got to start
no,
with leadership
keep
stuff.
going. That's the. There's one. He has one famous book that is one of the best books of all time. It's I don't know, but
We'll
How to
get
Lead
to it.
People
We'll
or
get
something
to
like
it.
that.
Audible. Go to
yeah,
Audible.
Yeah, check it out. What is it? How to Lead.
How to lead.
When your boss can't or won't. Yes, let's go.
400 pounds coming your way, John C. Miguel's mantra: "Dance it up, girlies." Yeah, I don't know what that was. We can cut that. One thing about championship teams is that they're resilient. No matter what is thrown at them, no matter how deep the hole, they find a way to bounce back and overcome adversity. Nick Saban.
Ooh.
The
Bama.
man, the myth, the legend. You ever see their workout coach?
Yes.
He's the best.
Yes.
Bop, bop, bop.
No, man. Good stuff, my brother. I appreciate you. I thank you for all the value that you add to my life.
Let's get that W. Legendary dad bod, Dave Regina.
Let's go, baby.
Let's get that 25K.
Until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up, get after, and go vote, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Dude, ghosts. I get ghosts. That's another Effie in the books. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Snooze Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze. Come on.